One of the investigators who worked the William Mason case sat down with me to talk about this week's unexpected and graphic courtroom confession. This is the case where 45-year-old Lance Mitchell killed his stepfather, William Mason, at Mason's home in Parma. This is in 2021. Mitchell then burned his stepfather's body. Here's what the Monroe County Sheriff's investigator had to say about all this. Even after combing over William Mason's home and property, investigators had little to go on. No blood, no weapon. They had Mason's remains, which they found in a fire pit, and they had some video and phone evidence placing Mason's stepson, Lance Mitchell, at the scene of the crime. And that was about it.
He maintained his innocence the entire time.
Yes.
Investigator Mike Shannon with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office suspected Mitchell had motive, having been angry with his stepfather over the selling of some childhood toys. But nothing was 100% certain.
Not knowing is hard. Not knowing the motivation for things, not knowing what he did, why he did it. It's tough. It's tough for us to try to wrap our heads around it.
But then, this week at court, Mitchell didn't just plead guilty. He, for the first time, confessed to the crime, even going into detail about how he snapped his stepfather's neck. Shannon says that explains why there wasn't any blood.
I wasn't surprised by what he said, and I actually felt relief for the family of William Mason, that they finally get an answer that they've been looking for, and hopefully it's the first step in closure for them.
And a final step in closing the case.
Only two people know what happened that day, and one of them can't tell us what happened. So we have to rely on Lance and hope that he's telling the truth.
Do you think he is?
I think he is. I hope he is.
As part of a plea agreement, Lance Mitchell pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the first degree and is due back in court for sentencing on May 23rd. Meanwhile, his sister, Dawn Mitchell, is also charged in this case and is scheduled to appear in court next week. It's unclear whether her brother's confession this week will change anything about her fate.